Brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. By Bud Light. Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it. By Aeropostale. Providing scholarship through sponsorship. By Pepsi-Cola, the official soft drink of the Missouri Valley Conference. And by Purina Dog Chow. Long live your dog.
Cool afternoon outside in the Midwest. We're in St. Louis, Missouri. The Scottrade Center, home to the St. Louis Blues. And again, home to the Missouri Valley Conference postseason tournament. State Farm proudly presents Game 2 of Quarterfinal Friday. Let's take a look at the lineups. A presentation of Bud Light, refreshingly smooth Bud Light, always worth it. What stands out to you, partner?
Well, they have got now for the Panthers 2-point guards in there. Brooks McCowan and Kojo Ahalekba. Both of them point guards. Ahalekba is joining the lineup for the 4th straight time. And when you look at the Bradley Braves, 4 perimeter players, Ruffin, Franklin, Crouch, and Twy. Only Andrews is an inside player, but he'll come out and set a lot of screens, so the lane is open considerably for the Braves to drive.
21st head coach in men's basketball history at Northern Iowa. That's Ben Jacobson. Just received an extension that'll take him through 5 years at the program. He's 18-12 in his first season. Of course, he was a longtime assistant for Greg McDermott. On the other side, a guy that is very familiar with the Missouri Valley Conference, both as a player, a terrific player, one of the best we've seen, and now as a head coach in his 5th season, and that is Jim Les. He is 82-71, his record at Bradley, and just a year ago, he went to the Sweet 16. The keys to the game are brought to you by National City.
And you look at the Panthers, big and bigger, and that would be Coleman and Stout. They want to go inside. Defensively, they want to give up no layups at the other end. They know the Braves will make threes, but nothing easy. For the Braves, they got to be tremendous. The leading three-point shooting team in the country percentage-wise at 43. They've made over 300 and boarded up. Anytime they have stayed within 5 rebounds of an opponent, not even out-rebound them, just stay close. They are 8-0 in the Valley.
The series history is brought to you by Sirius Satellite Radio. The best radio on radio. Visit Sirius.com. UNI swept both games this season, 76-65 at Cedar Falls, and then a 79-70 win in Peoria. But Bradley leads the all-time series 23-11. Folks, if you are just tuning in for the first time to this quarterfinal Friday inside the Valley, I love this game. I've had a chance to do it now over a decade. Number 4 against number 5 usually lives up to the billing.
And it should, because both of these teams understand they need a win. Both these teams understand what's at stake because they've had NCAA tournament experience. They want to return, and they both understand they are not there yet. A win here gets them closer and gives them an opportunity to play one of the top teams in the country in Southern, and that gives them a chance to earn their way into the league.
4th member of our crew is Tom Ackerman. Good afternoon, buddy.
This has been a challenge for Jim Les this season from the Sweet 16 team. Lost a lot of people. Patrick O'Brien, Marcellus Somerville, just to name a couple. But he says this team has been a lot of fun. He loves their personality. They know between the lines it's work. Off the court they have fun together. And here they are with 20 wins. He would love to reward them with a trip to the NCAA tournament.
Thank you, Tom. We'll be hearing from you all afternoon long. Patrick O'Brien, the first ever Valley sophomore taken in the NBA draft. Number 12 overall, Marcellus Somerville, if you're wondering, is playing professionally in France. And we are underway. Bradley wins the tip. They are the number 4 seed. Northern Iowa, the number 5 seed, so Bradley in their home whites.
And both teams are primarily man-to-man teams, although the Braves will mix it up, do some different things, and extend with pressure.
Franklin from the elbow, no good. Tipped, kept alive. Here's Ruffin. Ruffin is so quick, one of the top players in the Valley. Throws it up there, that's no good. Rebound over the back, and that will go to Northern Iowa. And whistle for the foul was Zach Andrews.
And Zach Andrews with an early foul cannot be good for the Braves because he leads the world in foul outs. He's had 9 foul outs already this season.
Well, how about this? 19:32 to go in the game. Andrews has a seat. Jim Les not happy one bit. Matt Sally, a 6'7" junior, already into the ballgame. That is a quick hook, my friend.
Well, you cannot afford to have Andrews give 2 fouls at all early in this game. He is critical to the success. And Sally is a very good compliment coming into the game.
Our officials see that the water is dropped on the court. Will they clean it up, or are they going to let it go?
Well, They're discussing it.
Tom Higgins and Paul Jansen, Mark Whitehead are officials today. Northern Iowa with their first possession of the ball game. And here's Brooks McCowan, who's had a very solid college career. This is Grant Stout. Stout working inside, got it stripped and lost it.
When the ball goes inside, you've got to be ready to do something with the ball quicker than Stout did that last time. He wanted to dribble it 3 times. That won't happen against the double down from the Braves.
Ruffin to Twy, left hand, yes. 2-0 Bradley.
You can really see the contrast. The Braves do not have size, but tremendous quickness, and their perimeter players can guard. Where you and I wants to be patient and pound that ball inside.
Some of the fans here wanted a foul. They don't get it. And Bradley, you can see, has gotten real physical on the outside on the perimeter.
They've got quick hands and quick feet.
Shot clock is down to 5 for Northern Iowa. Just trying to get into a set here. They're going to have to let it fly. Time expires. Great job by Bradley defensively.
Terrific job by the Bradley Braves, extending above the three-point line. And the ball handlers for Northern Iowa unable to really see an opportunity. All they could do was go east and west, and we talk, when you go east and west, you're in trouble.
Stay tuned for the intermission report presented by Poor Richard's Restaurants and Sports Bar and Grill with 2 St. Louis locations, serving 2 tons of wings every week. They'll be part of our halftime festivities as well. It's a lot of wings.
Yep. Can we get a bucket?
I hope so.
A bucket to go.
We got to know the right people. I think we do. Almost thrown away. Here's Ruffin. J.J. Twy, who was such a big part of that Sweet 16 team a year ago. Open look for 3. No good. Ruffin got a hand on it, knocked out of bounds, and it's back to Northern Iowa.
Boy, the quickness of Ruffin coming 20 feet away, almost taking that ball away from one of the 2 best rebounders in the Valley, Grant Stout.
The Bradley Braves are 20-11 overall, 10-8 inside the Missouri Valley Conference. That's where they finished as the number 4 seed. Northern Iowa, the number 5 seed, 18-12 overall, 9-9, 500 in conference play. They're trying to get it into Coleman. Now they finally do. You talk about a wide wingspan. Coleman has got that. He also got it blocked. That may have been a travel. No call. Coleman gets it back inside. He may have traveled. Doesn't matter. Ruffin pulls it away for Bradley. Here come the Braves. Twy inside, little floater, no. And Coleman rips it down. Frantic pace, and Bradley's really caused that.
The pace is frantic. The scoring is more like a Blues game.
2-0 right now. Coleman forced it. Twy the rebound. Here's Franklin to Ruffin. Northern Iowa, their fans still on their feet trying to wait for their first points. Ruffin gets hammered. A whistle and a foul. Halegba whistled for that foul.
He said getting his 4th consecutive start. A freshman who had come off the bench most of the year. But Ben Jacobson, wanting some more offense, switched he and Travis Brown. And Travis Brown, a scorer, has gone to the bench and hopes to spark the Panthers when he gets in. And this guy is more than a spark. He is a tremendous defender and really understands the game for Coach Jim West.
Out of Peoria, Illinois, 74% free throw shooter, leads their team in steals. There's a look at Ben Jacobson, who's the main recruiter for Greg McDermott. And Greg McDermott now coaching in the Big 12 with Iowa State. And it was an easy decision for the athletic department at Northern Iowa. They took less than 24 hours and they said, Ben Jacobson is our guy. He's in his first season as the head coach.
He's done really a very admirable job. Started out 13-2 and then ran into the losses of 7 of 8 games. He said, I've seen the spectrum in my first year. Didn't know I'd see that much of a spectrum.
At one point, they were 14-4. That's going to go the other way as Sally was banging inside with Coleman. But the Panthers were 14-4. They have won 2 in a row coming into this game this afternoon, and they still are trying to get on the board. And Coleman has his first personal, and now he has a seat. Had a chance just before the game to visit with Ben Jacobson, the head coach of Northern Iowa. I said, "You nervous, coach?" He said, "Absolutely not. No, we've got nothing to lose. Let's have some fun." Franklin right around his man and lays it off the glass. The speed of Bradley early on the story.
The Kentucky weave right there. Old Adolph Rupp used that for years in the 40s and 50s, and with speed, you can cut around almost a moving screen that's allowed off that weave.
Mack, and watching their guards, they just can't get in any kind of set right now. Bradley has just done a terrific job on the perimeter. We thought that might be the case.
Bradley's defense is forcing the Panthers out of their offensive comfort zone.
Just inside the arc, and that's a 2 for the Panthers and Grant Stout, their second leading scorer.
And the Panther fans' tradition to stand until that first basket, they finally get to sit.
Wide open. Yes! Danny Adams. This is a team that averages 10 threes a game. They have attempted 753 this season.
When you look at the Valley to understand what that is, 7 other schools have shot 200 less threes.
Danny Adams out of Illinois, the senior, buries the 3, and it's 9-2. Braves on top.
No matter what comes your way, we've got you covered. Mercy Health Plans. A full line of plans for groups and individuals linked to a high-quality network of doctors and hospitals from one of the most trusted names in healthcare. Mercy Health Plans. The way we care makes all the difference.
Greetings are different. The need to feel welcome is the same. You don't just stay here, you belong.
It's a brand new season of Pinks.
You lose this race, you lose your ride. Let's go!
It's the new Wednesday night lineup kicking off with Pinks Season 4. Unique Whips. And Forza Motorsport Showdown. Old school power, new school twist. Tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, only on Speed.
The brightest stars in the galaxy square off in a Sin City showdown. Defending champ Jimmy Johnson looks to repeat last year's dramatic finish as the world's top drivers brave the diamond in the desert. Live from Las Vegas, NASCAR racing returns next weekend in HD, only on Fox.
Bradley leading it early on in our second quarterfinal of the Missouri Valley Conference Tournament. Time now for Prairie Farms Missouri Valley Conference Scholar Athlete. It's Northern Iowa's Grant Stout, a senior from Iowa. Stout is a 2-time MVC Scholar Athlete selection, an 06 first-team MVC choice. Stout carries a 3.1 GPA in general studies. Academics are important to the Missouri Valley Conference, so let's salute Grant Stout, today's Prairie Farms Missouri Valley Conference Scholar Athlete for the Missouri Valley. And Dan, he got the Northern Iowa Panthers breaking the ice with his first 2 points.
Yeah, the second leading scorer all-time, leader in blocks is Grant Stout for Northern Iowa. Along with Matt McCausland, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Scott Mormon with us, along with Tom Ackerman. And our Metro Sports crew. Defense, the story also for Bradley early on.
But Grant Stout has the ability to go inside and outside. Right now, it's the Northern Iowa guards unable to get in position to get some easy looks for the bigs.
Twy gets it back. They've had an open look and gave it up. Inside the arc, Crouch, yes. And just like that, it's 11-2.
And Crouch, one of the really great shooters not in this game, but in the country. 50% from the arc. And he's a player that had to really prove to the coaches and the fellow players he was ready to come back, because last year his minutes got eaten up by other players. He worked hard this summer to get himself back in shape with that knee injury.
14 points a game, one of their top scorers. Boy, Bradley defensively is just getting after the guards of Northern Iowa. Tough shot off the glass and counted for Brooks McCowan. I mentioned before, Mac, that he has had just a fabulous college career coming off really a historic high school career.
Yeah, and his high school career was all about scoring, the leading scorer in high school history, and he's made himself over into a point guard, as you see again. Crouch, easy basket off the glass and just a layup, and Northern Iowa has to be extremely upset to give up an easy basket like that. Watch here where the defense is forcing UNI 6 feet, 8 feet, again right here, the distance to the line. You have no opportunity to shoot. Now look where the post is, way off the block. UNI unable to get anything going, and it takes a 1-on-3 move to finally get an opportunity off the window. Right now, the Braves are smothering the Panthers.
And then Crouch would answer with an easy 2, and that's what got the timeout rolling for Northern Iowa. Ben Jacobson was not happy with what he saw defensively. Bradley 13, Northern Iowa 4.
And you see Danny Adams 32. How about this? He has taken 157 shots this year, and 139 of them are threes.
13:30 to go. First half action, game 2 of the quarterfinals. Already winning this afternoon, Southern Illinois, and they picked up their 26th victory of the season, and now 26-5 as they rolled over Drake 71-59, and they'll play tomorrow at 1:30 in game 1 of the doubleheader. Coleman kicks it out.
Right now, Bradley using that zone. We talked about they'll mix up their defenses, but they have a lot of man-to-man on the ball and first pass away. See Twy.
Quick hands by Twy. And a travel. We'll go the other way.
That is the first turnover for Bradley.
Closed captioning for this game is made possible by Emerson. To learn more, visit gotoemerson.com. Emerson, consider it solved.
Now you're seeing another defense by Bradley. 1-2-2. Full court pressure. And Northern Iowa relying on their bigs to break it. Watch again and see the zone and how that zone will follow the ball.
Partially blocked. Coleman, though, got it back, draws contact from Twy, and he heads to the line. Coleman only, though, a 61% free throw shooter. You don't mind that foul.
No, you don't.
If that's an area that you look at as being a point of emphasis this summer, certainly for Eric Coleman, it is shooting free throws. Rebounds, not a problem. He almost averaged a double-double this year. Just over 13 points, just over 9 rebounds a game.
See Jim Lesson. You know, Coach of the Year went to Chris Lowry, but this guy, if he had a TV show, you'd have to call it Extreme Makeover 2, because last year he had the bigs. He had Somerville, and he had Patrick O'Brien inside. Now he's gone to a completely outside game, and he went to the Phoenix Suns and his old friend Mark Ivoroni to learn a little bit about the speed game and how to use perimeter players.
Well, Bradley and BMI are the only schools in the country that have at least 4 players with 53. So what you're talking about is moving away from the 7-footer, a guy that could be dominant in this conference and was at times, especially at the end of last year. And O'Brien, Somerville was just a physical specimen. And going now with this 3-point shooting. That time, it's roughing.
It is training time. To me, like I say, it's a great coaching job by Jim Les to take this group and have the players buy into it when he really didn't know what he was going to do until September when he went to the Suns training camp.
Travis Brown, air ball. And that's going to be the second personal on Coleman. You couldn't have drawn up a better start for Bradley. number 2 on number 2. 16-4 Braves.
Good girl. A groundbreaking 14-year study by Purina proves that dogs can live longer, healthier lives.
After all these years, you haven't lost a step, you old hound.
Dog Chow Nutrition, fed properly over a lifetime, can help add up to 2 healthy years to your dog's life.
Okay, last one home buys breakfast.
Long live your running partner. Long live your dog. Purina Dog Chow.
The Missouri Valley Conference celebrates athletic excellence, bringing you non-stop red-hot collegiate basketball. There's another team in town that we're privileged to support, the Bob Costas Cancer Center at Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. The Cancer Center provides state-of-the-art technology, a child-friendly environment, and compassionate care to children who are diagnosed with cancer and other blood disorders. The Missouri Valley Conference and the Bob Costas Cancer Center. We're here for the kids. Give us a hand.
Wouldn't it be great to hear exactly what you want on radio? Then say yes to over 130 channels of Sirius satellite radio. Say yes to 100% commercial-free music from rock to pop, hip-hop to country. Yes to every NFL game, the NBA, college sports, and NASCAR coming this January. Yes to comedy, news, talk, and more. To a subscription that's less than 50 cents a day. Say yes and join over 10 million listeners. Say no to regular radio. And now get a radio plus a 3-month subscription for less than $99. Sirius, the best radio on radio.
Who will be the next national champion? Follow the action at the 2007 NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Midwest Regional, hosted by the Missouri Valley Conference. The games are March 23rd and 25th at Edward Jones Dome. For ticket information, call 314-621-2307 or log on to ncaasports.com.
Ah, what a nice look that is. Get a lot of dates that way. 16-4, Bradley on top. Now that is a true fan. State Farm MVC Men's Basketball Tournament, Scottrade Center, continues this weekend. Games running through March 4th. Stop in any St. Louis area Taco Bell location and take $12 off any session ticket to the MVC tournament by picking up a coupon at St. Louis area Taco Bell restaurants while supplies last. Let's check in with Tom Ackerman.
Dan, as you mentioned earlier, Coach Ben Jacobson of Northern Iowa had a terrific start to his rookie season, 13-2. But once the team lost 7 of 8 games, that's when he says he learned something about being a head coach. He realized the importance of team chemistry. When things went sour, the Panthers stuck together. Their attitude didn't change. He says had they not been able to do that, he thinks they would not have won their last 2 games. He thought that gave him a good mindset coming into today. Now they have another hill to climb, down 12.
Yeah, they certainly do, and Bradley has been outstanding at the start of this game. They've scored on 7 of their past 11 possessions and have a lead of 12 here in Arch Madness. Ruffin thought about shooting a 3.
Hey, Coach Mack, how about buy an all-session ticket and find out that guy with the headgear is going to sit in front of you for all sessions?
Yeah, give it a chance. Come on down. We'll make sure that guy takes it off, you know? I agree. You'd be stuck, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would.
Better to find out, though, if you can be one of the 18,000 plus that's not behind him, which you probably would be. That's only a 2.
What a
tremendous
year for the Valley when you consider the number of all-session tickets they have sold. I mean, it's an outstanding league with outstanding hoops. We'll get a chance to do a couple games.
Yeah, it's great. Here's Crouch, a little head fake from the free throw line. No good. And the rebound goes to Northern Iowa. Brooks McCowan.
And Northern Iowa is going to have to hunt and peck a little bit.
Jostin, get out of here. Blocked away by Andrews.
And you don't hunt and peck there.
That's number 24 as far as blocks are concerned from Andrews.
And you talk about a shot blocker, you want to keep the ball in play because he had a teammate right there for the opportunity. He could have just tapped it to the floor.
Good play off the set, and that's Coleman.
Good job.
They got to get him going.
Got to get all those bigs going for Northern Iowa. They just have not gotten touches low on the block. Braves have just been tremendous on defense.
That's his first 2 of the afternoon. Here's Ruffin. Thought about the three, drawing contact, and no foul. That would have been number 3, and no call. And Northern Iowa catches a break. Little ball fake, 3 up, and that's their 3rd air ball of the afternoon. Let's go back to Coleman. This would have been his 3rd personal, and Northern Iowa really would have been in big trouble. Oh, goodness.
A lot of contact there. A lot of contact. And you never want to go ahead and jump in the air at a three-point shooter. You want to close out on the ground to make him shoot over you in your outstretched hand.
Open look, no good. Loose basketball picked up by Travis Brown. Near steal and a foul on J.J. Twire. 9:31 to go. It's 18-8. We check the standings. Presentation of Ameren. Southern Illinois rolling to the conference championship and rolling to the NCAA tournament. They are 26-5. Then you have Creighton, Missouri State, Bradley, Northern Iowa, Wichita State, Drake, Illinois State, Evansville, and Indiana State. Rounding out the MVC final standings. Now it's just a question of not only are they going to the tournament, but where are they going to be seated when you talk about Southern Illinois? They had the huge win in the bracket buster on the road at Butler. And some believe they should get a number 3 seed, depending on what happens here. That's a deep 3 and knocked down by McCowan.
Well, McCowan, we said he was a great scorer in high school, although it was in a class in which he would outperform many of the other players. And here he has been matched with quickness and had to modify his game.
Crouch. Ball fakes everywhere. Gives it up. Good defense here by the Panthers. Their crowd comes alive. 9 seconds to go on the shot clock. Franklin penetrating off the glass. No good. And it's a rebound by Stout. Here's Cook. Adam Cook, a 6'8" freshman. Don't see much of him out of Wisconsin.
Watch how in here this lane is wide open, and it remains there. Nobody on the low post. That gives the quickness of somebody like Will Franklin the opportunity to get to the rim.
Legwise check back in for Northern Iowa. Banging inside. Little short. Offensive rebound. Got it back. No good by Stout. A whistle.
And Stout.
Bradley basketball.
We're seeing a Stout performance, but unable to finish off the glass. A lot of quick hands by the Braves bothering the Panthers.
And for all intents and purposes, Mac, when Northern Iowa, if they have any shot to get to the NCAA tournament, they have to win today, probably have to win tomorrow, and probably have to win Sunday.
Yep, I would agree. The Braves have a chance to get there with a win today and certainly a win against Southern Illinois.
I think they've got to win today. I think they've at least got to get there. We'll find out, though. But they could make a real strong case with what they've got. That's the 4th air ball put up by Northern Iowa, as the Braves are 44th in the RPI and have the Valley's best strength of schedule at 27. And all of a sudden, the Panthers are starting to get alive. Jim Les wants a timeout, and the Panther fans rise to their feet.
And Jim Les wants to talk to his team about being concerned with consistency and being under control. He said when they have had problems is when they've gotten lackadaisical about their offense and not running it. Jim Les using some verbal lessons to his Braves.
Jim Les, 5th-year man, at the helm of Bradley. Watching this play transpire. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Get me my timeout right now. I'm about ready to light into somebody.
He said we can get too casual sometimes on our offense and defense, and we leave the roles that we establish, which we think are pretty good. All of a sudden we get a little fool's gold. We feel good about ourselves.
Northern Iowa on a 9-0 run since 10:55. And some of the folks had a tough time getting here to St. Louis through the rain and snow. About a foot of snow up there.
Hey.
But they're here.
How about you? You were in New York this morning.
No problems, man. Go. And a whistle and a foul against Northern Iowa. And then we'll go against Travis Brown. We step aside. 7:16 to go first half. Panthers right back in it, down by 5.
Why can't I come up? Sorry, Sarah, but there's no girls allowed. Not even girls with old recipe ice cream?
Prairie Farms Premium Old Recipe Ice Cream is full of all the homemade goodness that smart women know kids love.
So from now on, there are going to be some new rules around here. Okay? Mm-hmm.
Taste the homemade goodness of Old Recipe Ice Cream.
Casey's, it's all good. Casey's, it's all right.
It's piping hot, it's fresh, it's handmade from scratch Casey's Pizza. This month, get any 2 large one-topping pizzas for $17.99.
Made fresh for your order. Meat and cheese piled high for you. Casey's General Store. Casey's, it's all good.
Hey, Dwayne, this project is critical. It's got a tight budget and even a tighter deadline.
Got it, boss.
This is Mrs. Hudson's Park Avenue. It needs brakes, rotors, shocks, wipers, and she's got a bridge game at 2 o'clock, so get on it.
And if I screw this up, I'm gonna get fired.
No matter what the size of your project, O'Reilly has you covered. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices.
So you went to a rally. Genius.
10 teams. 9 games. 4 days. And 1 big invitation to the dance. It's Hoops in the Heartland. Don't miss the 2007 State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Women's Basketball Tournament, March 8th through 11th at the Drake Knapp Center. Hoops in the Heartland. Get your tickets today.
Bradley with a 5-point lead here in the first half of Game 2 of the quarterfinals of the Missouri Valley Conference Tournament. I remind you, stay tuned for the intermission report presented by Poor Richard's Restaurant and Sports Bar and Grill, with 2 St. Louis locations serving 2 tons of wings every week. And Dan, looks like Northern Iowa starting to stretch their way back into this one.
18-13. Thank you, Scott. 7:16 to play in our first half. This is Game 2. If you're just joining us on this Friday afternoon here in St. Louis, Game 1, all Salukis, as Southern Illinois picked up their 26th victory on the year. What a job by Chris Lowry. And Southern Illinois, with Jamal Tatum as the player of the year. They got Randall Falker inside. Some believe they should be ranked in the top 10 before the NCAA tournament pairings come out. Been quite a run.
I can't argue it. And we think Bradley's playing some defense today.
Oh.
How about Southern Illinois, huh?
They take pride in that. They love it.
They are hungry at the defensive end.
Chris Lowry's got a situation, and there's a foul on the Panthers, Adam Veet, where not only do they keep track of assists and points, but they like to get deflections and steals and how many times you were diving on the floor. And he says if you don't have a certain amount of points after a game, meaning his type of points, not just putting it in the hoop, he says, you're not doing your job out there. I want you aggressive and doing everything.
And of course, I think coaches take a bit more pride when it's the alma mater. You've seen it. When you look at what Chris Lowry's done there, you see Jim Les at Bradley. There's a special feeling about your school.
No doubt. Bradley got off to the great start. Northern Iowa's made this close now. 18-13. Crouch hands it off. Ruffin for 3. Rattles out, no good. And the rebound to Adam Veet.
Adam Veet may be a person who can help get some things done because he is a tremendous three-point shooter. He's been in a bit of a slump.
He shot 40 threes, 40 makes this last year, and Veet almost had a steal. Here's Will Franklin for the Braves.
That was a poor pass by McCowan trying to get it to Stout. He had nothing but white jerseys around him.
Franklin elevates. A 2 only. Rebound. Halegba.
This is where Joe and Brooks McCown have helped each other. Both point guards, whoever gets the ball becomes the point guard. The other one takes the wing position. Puts more pressure on the defense.
Just under 6 minutes to go in our first half. The big man for three gets the shooter's roll. That's Grant Stout.
And you heard that all the way. You heard it hit the front of the rim. You heard it hit the back of the rim.
And all of a sudden, Northern Iowa only down by 2. Maybe in a walk, no call. And a three. J.J. Twy.
He does whatever it takes for the Bradley Braves. Not a great scorer, not a great rebounder. He will just do whatever it takes at the moment. Right there to take a little of the air out of the Panthers offense.
Open look. The three to answer. No. Crouch the rebound for Bradley. 5-point lead for the Braves. Ruffin a good look inside, but a whistle and a foul. Halegba is going to be whistled for that. Banging inside was Zach Andrews, and that's number 2.
Bradley is terrific with a high post pick. As we've said, leaving the lane open, and then that post has an option to either step back or dive to the basket. That time, going to the basket, Halegba trying to stop him, gave the bump foul.
Mac, for the better part of this half, the run has been made by Northern Iowa with Coleman on the bench. Arguably their best player.
I think that's maybe when Bradley starts to change their focus at the defense. They knew they have to take care of Coleman. And now all of a sudden, there's a different lineup in there with Travis Brown and Jostin.
The foul on Ruffin as he was tied up with Halegba. So Ruffin whistled for the foul. That's number 2 on him.
Hey, you can say David Ruffin is the toughest on-ball defender in the Valley. Coming up with Halegba, a little push-off by number 11, but gets the foul. Call, 2 fouls now on Daniel Ruffin. Now that is a big change, because now the Panthers have a lot more ability to set up their offense with somebody like Ruffin out of there.
3 is up. Halegba, no. The rebound, though, to Travis Brown and a fresh 35 for Northern Iowa.
There's a big difference between Danny Adams guarding the ball and David Ruffin.
McCowan. Stout, no. And the rebound to Danny Adams.
And no inside rebounder. That's where you miss Coleman.
Adams got it. Another 3 for the Bradley Braves, and he's got 6.
And that's the trade-off. Ruffin at D. Adams, an offensive tremendous shooter.
4 of 6 are the Braves from 3-point territory today. Stout, they double on him. Spins on the baseline, looking for help, can't find it. Little baby hook can't hit the shot on the baseline. Little 5-footer there for Grant Stout. He's got 7 points.
When you commit to the double team, you've got to stay there. The man left, letting Stout have an opportunity.
Rebound to Halegba for Northern Iowa. 3 minutes to go first half.
See if they go back to Stout.
Knocked out of bounds. It will stay with the Panthers, and we take a timeout. Arch Madness in St. Louis, the Missouri Valley Conference postseason tournament presented by State Farm, and it's 24-18, Braves on top.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be landing shortly. For those of you connecting, we have some information for you. If you're going on to Atlanta, you'll be at gate A9, Buenos Aires, A17. Back from a long night out with the entire Tokyo office, capped off by a karaoke rendition of I Am Woman that certainly no one will forget, and still pulling off that 7-figure deal the next morning without a hitch. You're at gate C21, Denver, C10.
We know why you fly. We're American Airlines.
What does reliability sound like? It beeps and whirs, screams and stirs, blips and rings, growls and sings, buzzes, clicks, bangs, and ticks. That's what reliability sounds like. Working hard to keep your power up and costs down. Ameren 365 and then some.
Known as the biggest show on earth, with talent unparalleled anywhere on the planet, and the highest represented league in the World Cup, Barclays English Premier League. Get ready for the start of a golden era this season. One team looks to build a dynasty, while resurgent clubs fight to create their own legacy. And at the other end, newly promoted clubs come face to face with their destiny. Competition is stronger, victory is harder, elements leading to a dramatic finish. Barclays EPL on FSC.
It's the end of the Centennial Men's Basketball celebration for the Missouri Valley Conference as Arch Madness takes center stage all weekend on FSN Midwest. Nationally ranked Southern Illinois ended the season at the top of the Valley standings, but Creighton, Missouri State, and Bradley will fight to advance to the NCAA tournament. Find out which teams make it to the championship game when the best teams in the Valley hit the hardwood. It's Arch Madness with the Missouri Valley Conference Men's Quarterfinals today on FSN Midwest.
This game will get the Salukis tomorrow in the semifinals of Arch Madness. 24-18, Bradley on top. And we remind you that when Metro Sports takes its television cameras on the road, it considers these hotel properties its home away from home. Visit them when following your favorite Valley team. Along with Mac McCausland, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Tom Ackerman with us, along with Scott Warman and our Metro Sports crew, elevating for a three and hitting it. And that's a big one. Ahalegba.
His confidence has just soared since he's got a starting position. He was uncomfortable coming off the bench and had trouble with pressure of teams like Southern Illinois and Creighton.
There's J.J. Twy feeding it inside. And the ball is caught between the backboard and the rim, so it's a jump ball possession arrow in favor of Northern Iowa. See, the medical staff was working on one of the players of Northern Iowa, making sure he's all right. A little leg injury over there, and everything seems to be fine.
Right now, again, David Ruffin is out, who is the defensive stopper, especially on the perimeter players. McCowan trying to do too much one-on-one. Gets the turnover off his foot. See if Bradley maybe tries to use Couch a little bit here. Get him open. Couch has been a tremendous story for them this year.
Franklin wide open, rattles in. Will Franklin with his fourth point of the afternoon. 26-21, Bradley leading Northern Iowa. Minute and a half to go.
Franklin had struggled with the shooting 1 of 7 till that one. But you know he's going to keep putting up. He's got a scores mentality.
Threw it away. Today's game is brought to you in part by Aeropostale. Visit us on the web at aeropostale.com for all the latest trends in casual apparel for both boys and girls. Aeropostale providing scholarship through sponsorship.
You talk about a lineup now the Braves have in there that can make some threes. You've got Franklin at 43%, Crouch at 50, Ruffin at 40. And we say to Adams, he's over 40% as well. Don't look for the ball to go inside very much here, Danny.
Here's Ruffin with 20 on the shot clock and a minute to go in our first half of play.
See if Sally comes up. High post pick.
There it is. 7 on the shot clock. Ruffin looking for help. Ruffin all the way in.
Sally with a tremendous double screen, getting Ruffin the layup.
Ruffin with 9. And it's 28-21 Bradley. There is a difference. Game clock and shot clock of 9 seconds. Coleman has had to sit for just about 10, maybe 12 minutes here in this first half. 10 on the shot clock. From the elbow, no good. Hit out of bounds. Bradley basketball with 13.9 to go, so they can play for that final shot and get a pretty good look, get into a set.
Plenty of time, especially with a veteran group like Ruffin running the team. He and Will Franklin have a chemistry between them, and of course Crouch, a great three-point shooter, we've said. He's going to take them one-on-one. Ruffin's going to come, high post pick.
Here it is, Ruffin all the way. Oh! Put back no good. Boy, he had a layup and missed it here at the buzzer. 20 minutes in the books of Game 2 of 4 today in Arch Madness here in downtown St. Louis at the Scottrade Center. Bradley with the lead of 28-21 over the Panthers. Let's check in with Tom Ackerman.
All right, thanks, Dan. Coach, great run there towards the end to give yourself some momentum.
Well, it's all about our defense, and we got to be solid on that end of the floor. I thought we had a little bit of a letdown, midway through the half and let them back in the game, but it's nice to come back with a little run, all created by our defense.
You like the intensity of this game?
I'm having fun.
Good luck in the second half.
Thanks.
Our chat with the coaches brought to you by Mercy Health Plans, an innovative health management company empowering members to make healthy choices. The way we care makes all the difference. We're at the Scottrade Center in downtown St. Louis, the Missouri Valley Conference. Postseason tournament rolls on. After this timeout, Scott Mormon gets you to halftime. It's 28-21.
Everybody ready for this tournament? That's not good. I'm State Farm agent Al Sicard, and this is a true story.
They took everything, even the kids' uniforms.
Coach had to stay with the truck.
Al took them over to the mall. He got them new uniforms.
He got them to the game just in time.
But our coach didn't make it. So I grabbed the clipboard, and I coached.
And they ended up winning the whole thing.
He got them to play zone. I can't get them to play zone.
Great service and great rates. It's all here. Nobody takes care of you like State Farm. Call an agent today.
Like a good neighbor.
State Farm is there! Here's Michael at the foul line. He shoots over Relo. No good. Michael misses. Cleveland wins. They're waving beyond the around.
If you're a fraction off, it can change everything. On the field and in the lab, where Gatorade scientists test and retest athletes so we know exactly what their bodies demand. Precision counts. Out there.
Bulls win! Bulls win!
And in here.
At National City, we want to make banking simple. When your banking is simplified, you have more time to do what you really want. So, what's not to like?
Save up to half off on hotels over Expedia and Hotels.com. Only at Priceline.
On the next Destination Wild, presented by Jeep, Courtney makes a run down the Vale slopes, skiing and snow tubing through the treacherous mountains. Monday on FSN. Log on to DestinationWildTV.com and enter to win a Destination Wild trip of your own.
The FSN final score tonight.
State Farm Missouri Valley Tournament is brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. By the Prairie Farm family of dairies, Prairie Farms, Highland, and Roberts Dairies, serving quality fresh food products throughout Mid-America. By Sirius Satellite Radio, the best radio in radio. By American Airlines, we know why you fly. And by Choice Hotels. With over 5,000 hotels from which to choose, there's bound to be a Choice Hotel wherever you're headed. Welcome back to our intermission report presented by Poor Richard's Restaurant and Sports Bar and Grill with 2 locations in St. Louis, serving 2 tons of wings every week. Welcome back. It is the 100th year of the Missouri Valley Conference. It is the 2007 State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Tournament. Quarterfinal Friday. We already have one game in the books, and we're at halftime of game 2 as the Bradley Braves leading the Northern Iowa Panthers. That 4-5 seed matchup should be a good one. Slow start for Northern Iowa. They crawled back into it down by 7 after the first 20 minutes of play. A lot of hardware handed out after the regular season of the Missouri Valley Conference. And right now, we'll take a look at our Gatorade All-Conference defensive team as we look at some great defensive players in this great conference, led by Randall Falker. Of course, Salukis winners in game 1 of quarterfinal Friday. He was the defensive MVP of the Missouri Valley Conference this season, along with his teammate, sophomore Brian Mullins, and guard Daniel Ruffin, who we're seeing in this game from Bradley. Also making the team, Tony Young of Southern Illinois. There's a reason why Southern Illinois is #1 defense in the Missouri Valley Conference. And to wrap it all up, PJ Kuznard of Wichita State, the junior forward, also a part of the all-defensive team. Congratulations to these fine athletes. Gatorade, is it in you? Halftime here of game 2 of quarterfinal Friday. Bradley out in front by 7.
State Farm proudly presents the Just Read program.
When we give a child the ability to read, it's a gift that will last a lifetime. At State Farm, we're pleased to be part of the Missouri Valley Conference effort to help young people build their reading skills. Children pay attention when student athletes show how much fun it is to read and how reading skills are so fundamental to doing well in other school subjects.
Throughout the school year, student athletes from the Missouri Valley Conference visited elementary schools throughout this great league. Their mission, teach the leaders of tomorrow the importance of reading and being active members in the classroom. From Wichita to Evansville, athletes inspire these bright young minds, and the youngsters taught the athletes lessons to last a lifetime. The beauty that is the Just Read program.
State Farm proudly presents the Just Read program.
Through sponsorship, presents today's MVC legend, Northern Iowa's Joe Breckenridge. First team all-conference choice, Breckenridge became only the 4th player in Valley history to lead the league in rebounding 3 consecutive seasons, joining the likes of Louisville's Wes Unseld and Wichita State's Xavier McDaniel. For all the latest trends in casual apparel for both guys and girls, visit us on the web at aeropostale.com. Welcome back to our Poor Richards halftime report. We're at the break. Bradley leading Northern Iowa in game 2 of quarterfinal Friday in the State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Tournament. The winner will take on Southern Illinois. Already a winner in game 1, 11th ranked team in the country. Let's take a look at the stats of the first half of this game, which is brought to you by Pepsi. They are the official soft drink of the Missouri Valley Conference. Leading Northern Iowa shooting 39%. You would think that was not very good, but the way they started out, it took them over 4 minutes before they got their first bucket. Not too bad with field goal percentage, but boy, we saw Southern Illinois and their smothering defense and their victory over Drake. Look at the points off of turnovers for Bradley. Their defense has been smothering over Northern Iowa. 10 points over turnovers for Bradley over Northern Iowa's 2 points off of turnovers, and the rebound game going to Northern Iowa and Grant Stout. Bradley Braves up by 7. Dan McLaughlin, Mac McCausland coming up next with the second half of the Missouri Valley Conference Tournament. Purina Dog Chow, with perfect nutrition to build, replenish, and nourish your dog at each life stage, brings you today's MVC famous alumni, Northern Iowa's Joey Woody. 97 grad, Woody was a 10-time MVC champion and 3-time League Track Athlete of the Year selection and a 4-time NCAA All-American. Woody placed second in the 400 hurdles at the 2003 World Outdoor Track and Field Championships in Athens. For more information on Purina Dog Chow products, visit longliveyourdog.com.
When my brother started selling auto insurance, I got a little pressure to use them.
A little? I'm State Farm Agent Amy Kaplan, and this is a true story.
I didn't pressure you. I think blood is thicker than water.
So was some of his staff. We switched from State Farm to him.
The service is horrible.
Well, he wouldn't call me back, and he's my brother.
So I called him, and he was ready to switch back.
State Farm treated us like family.
Yeah, better.
Great service and great rates, it's all here. Nobody takes care of you like State Farm. Call an agent today.
Like a good neighbor?
State Farm is there.
I'm Emeka Okafor, college graduate, Charlotte Bobcat, and proud recipient of the Aeropostale Big East Scholar Athlete of the Year. Graduating with a 3.76 GPA and a degree in finance in 3 years, I balanced books and basketball. Aeropostale gives out more than $300,000 in scholarships to both students and student athletes. It wasn't and still isn't all about the rebounds.
Where are you now, Daddy?
I'm in Tokyo this time.
Is Paris far away?
Pretty far away.
Oh.
Buenos Aires. Do you know where Spain is?
It's right under France.
That's right.
When are you coming home?
I'll be home real soon.
I love you, Daddy.
And where are we flying to today?
We're having a business meeting in London.
Life can take you almost anywhere, and so can we. We know why you fly. We're American Airlines.
Thinking of a number. Do you know what it is? It's 20 million. That's how many people have already checked their free Experian credit report at freecreditreport.com for some very good reasons.
Now we can monitor all 3 of our national credit reports every day.
It helps us save money and check for potential identity theft.
I got my credit report and credit score online in seconds.
Isn't it time to get your free credit report and score? Well, log on now to freecreditreport.com.
Offer applies with enrollment triple advantage.
The State Farm Missouri Valley Tournament is brought to you by Bud Light, refreshingly smooth Bud Light, always worth it. By Aeropostale, providing scholarship through sponsorship. By Pepsi-Cola, the official soft drink of the Missouri Valley Conference. By Purina Dog Chow, long live your dog. And by American Airlines, we know why you fly.
Welcome back to the Scottrade Center in downtown St. Louis. Our halftime score is 28-21. Bradley leading UNI. Tom Ackerman is standing by with the head coach of UNI, and that is Ben Jacobson. Tom.
Coach, you were down early. You came back, fought back into this game. How do you seize momentum again here in the second half?
Well, it'll be important that our defense is better. You know, to start the game, Bradley did a great job and jumped out to that quick lead. They were really sharp offensively. Unfortunately, the last half of that first half, we were good defensively. That's what we're going to need to have to happen again.
Good luck in the second half. Thanks.
Thank you.
Chat with the coaches brought to you by Mercy Health Plans, an innovative health management company empowering members to make healthy choices. The way we care makes all the difference. Mac McCausland, Dan McLaughlin, we're just about set to go for the start of our second half. And yes, your telestrator does work. Nicely done. It only took you the entire year to figure it out. But, Mac, when we talk about this game, at one point, Bradley 18-4, and now all of a sudden that lead has been cut.
It has been, and you're going to see Panthers come back. The reason to circle you,
sorry,
congratulations, a new father. How about Avery Jane, just 10 days old?
Yep, I appreciate it very much.
And how are the diapers and the bottles?
Same as they have been for the last 19 months with the other one, but it's been great. My wife is doing well. Everybody's healthy, and we certainly appreciate it. Thank you.
Missouri Valley Tournament is brought to you by Bud Light, refreshingly smooth Bud Light, always worth it. By Aeropostale, providing scholarship through sponsorship. By Pepsi-Cola, the official soft drink of the Missouri Valley Conference. By Purina Dog Chow, long live your dog. And by American Airlines, we know why you fly.
Welcome back to the Scottrade Center in downtown St. Louis. Our halftime score is 28-21. Bradley leading UNI. Tom Ackerman is standing by with the head coach of UNI, and that is Ben Jacobson. Tom.
Coach, you were down early. You came back, fought back into this game. How do you seize momentum again here in the second half?
Well, it'll be important that our defense is better. You know, to start the game, Bradley did a great job and jumped out to that quick lead. They were really sharp offensively. Unfortunately, the last half of that first half, we were good defensively. That's what we're going to need to have to happen again.
Good luck in the second half. Thanks.
Thank you.
Chat with the coaches brought to you by Mercy Health Plans, an innovative health management company empowering members to make healthy choices. The way we care makes all the difference. Mac McCausland, Dan McLaughlin, we're just about set to go for the start of our second half. And yes, your telestrator does work. Nicely done. It only took you the entire year to figure it out. But, Mac, when we talk about this game, at one point, Bradley 18-4, and now all of a sudden that lead has been cut.
It has been, and you're going to see Panthers come back. The reason to circle you,
sorry,
congratulations, a new father. How about Avery Jane, just 10 days old?
Yep, I appreciate it very much.
And how are the diapers and the bottles?
Same as they have been for the last 19 months with the other one, but it's been great. My wife is doing well. Everybody's healthy, and we certainly appreciate it. Thank you. It's a lot of fun. as you well know.
Yes, and it gets only better. And when you get some sleep, it even gets better yet. But we're going to see the Panthers, I think, increase their defensive intensity. As the Braves came out, this is going to be now a game of will. Whichever team has a great determination.
Bradley surprisingly going inside, and missing it was Zach Andrews.
You're not bad with that illustrator yourself.
You know what?
You got it down.
I've learned how to play with it too, you know.
It is a great toy.
It is. Here's Stout and a hold. And that foul is going to go against Jeremy Crouch. Scoring leaders after 20 minutes of play. And that's brought to you by GHP, a Coventry healthcare plan.
And for the Panthers to get back in the game, Mr. Coleman is going to have to do something more than just 2 points and a couple fouls. He has been an All-Valley performer this year's second team, along with Stout, Ruffin as well, and Will Franklin. You have 4 second-teamers in this game.
I would think, Mac, if you're Northern Iowa, some way, somehow, you're trying to get the ball to number 2. That's a 3-up, and Coleman goes over the back, no call, luckily, and knocked it out of bounds.
He could have drawn another foul.
I mean, that's the second time they easily could have gotten him with number 3.
And Jim Less is kind of discussing that with Mr. Higgins as he goes by.
Ruffin gave it up to Twy. They get it back. Crouch has a look. Good recovery defense though. Franklin inside kicks it out, and that's going to be a foul and go against Grant Stout.
Well, Franklin and Ruffin, as we've said, they've been a great tandem for a couple years. They understand each other. They kind of work together 15 feet apart. And it has been a better defensive effort as Ruffin unable to challenge and get down the lane.
Here's a 3 from the head of the key, and they got it.
Spend all that time, end up taking a 22-footer that goes.
Will Franklin, and it's back to a 10-point lead. Franklin was 7. Stout kicks it out, and a 3 is good, and a chance at a 4-point play.
Well, Crouch, if there's anything a three-point shooter knows, it's not to foul another three-point shooter. See, Crouch, on the closeout, you want to stay down in your stance, because if he shot fakes, then he can drive right by you or into your arms. That time, Jostin goes down. Looks like he hurt his hand or wrist.
And now he's going to be taken out of this game, so Jostin out. And checking in, Travis Brown, and Brown is a 78% free throw shooter.
Looking.
Jostin was 85% coming into play today, so they'll tend to him on the sideline. And fresh off the bench, Travis Brown makes it a 4-point play. And maybe, just maybe, momentum swinging a little bit too. Lead is cut to 6. Crouch leans in off the glass, little strong. Coleman had a hand on it, kept alive by Brown.
How many layups has Bradley missed? Ruffin missed the one just before the half. Crouch misses that one. 2 bunnies by the Bradley Braves.
McCollum inside to Coleman. They've been doubling on him all day when they can. And the lefty gets doubled, finds the open man 2 rows deep in the seats. And he is frustrated.
Ben Jacobson at halftime, you can see, did discuss and reached his team in terms of defensive effort. They're doing a good job of coming out. Bradley having trouble finding anything in the lane. In the first half, they were able to drive into the lane pretty much at will. It's jammed up this time with purple jerseys.
Here's Twy, got it stripped, gets it back. Inside the reverse, J.J. Twy. He's got 7. Brown in the corner, 15 on the shot clock for Northern Iowa. 33-25 Bradley. At one point they had an 18-4 lead.
This is where your Knights had trouble late in a shot clock getting a good look.
They got to let it fly, not the look that they want. A brick. And it's pulled away, and Bradley's got numbers now. In the front court, Adams stripped away. Heads up play by Travis Brown, and he saves the easy 2.
Holy cow. Panther players collided and went down at midcourt. And Travis Brown got himself back there with the strip.
Off a pick Crouch, but that's going to be away from the basketball. And a foul on Zach Andrews trying to lay a pick out there. Twy just stayed with it here with the reverse, and it's 33-25. Bradley on top.
Who will be the next national champion? Follow the action at the 2007 NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Midwest Regional, hosted by the Missouri Valley Conference. The games are March 23rd and 25th at Edward Jones Dome. For ticket information, call 314-621-2307 or log on to ncaasports.com.
Wouldn't it be great to hear exactly what you want on radio? Then say yes to over 130 channels of Sirius satellite radio. Say yes to 100% commercial-free music from rock to pop, hip-hop to country. Yes to every NFL game, the NBA, college sports, and NASCAR coming this January. Yes to comedy, news, talk, and more. To a subscription that's less than 50 cents a day. Say yes and join over 10 million listeners. Say no to regular radio. And now get a radio plus a 3-month subscription for less than $99. Sirius, the best radio on radio.
The Missouri Valley Conference celebrates athletic excellence, bringing you non-stop red-hot collegiate basketball. There's another team in town that we're privileged to support, the Bob Costas Cancer Center at Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. The Cancer Center provides state-of-the-art technology, a child-friendly environment, and compassionate care to children who are diagnosed with cancer and other blood disorders. The Missouri Valley Conference and the Bob Costas Cancer Center. We're here for the kids. Give us a hand.
Why can't I come up?
Sorry, Sarah, but there's no girls allowed.
Not even girls with old recipe ice cream?
Prairie Farms Premium Old Recipe Ice Cream is full of all the homemade goodness that smart women know kids love.
So from now on, there are going to be some new rules around here. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Taste the homemade goodness of Old Recipe Ice Cream.
(33-25). Mac McCausland, Dan McLaughlin, Tom Ackerman, Scott Mormon, our Metro Sports crew. Casey's around the scores, and we take a look at what's coming up later today as Southern Illinois has won. They get the winner of this game. Later tonight, Indiana State and Creighton, number 10 against number 2, Indiana State. Royce Waltman still alive, 13-17, 19-10 Creighton. And then the big matchup in some eyes around the Valley and people around college basketball looking at a real intriguing matchup with Wichita State and Missouri State. And how about the attendance? Third highest total in MVC tourney history already, 15,186. Congratulations to the Valley.
They have done just a tremendous job in developing this over the last decade.
Amazing. The amount of people now that come out to this tournament. It's great.
It used to be a one-invite league only, and now it's among the top 5 leagues in the country due to players like this, and now he returns as a coach, Jim Les.
Ruffin stepped out of bounds, and it's back to Northern Iowa. Sweet 16 a year ago, then they lost to the top seed Memphis in the NCAA tournament, but along the way, one of the biggest upsets in last year's tournament as they got the Kansas Jayhawks. Coleman. Head of the key, open man, no good. Good job though inside, and the hustle and the effort by Grant Stout. And then the foul against Bradley, and that's going to go against, I believe, Franklin.
And Franklin blocking out the taller Stout. Stout able to go up over and get the rebound, but they're calling Franklin for a little push and shove late in the rebound area.
And that's a whistle, and it looks like that will go against Matt Sally.
Bradley's doing a tremendous job of making the bigs for UNI work for position. Now they've picked up a couple fouls, but they have really exerted a lot of energy, giving nothing easy on the block.
Coleman again careless with it, but it finds its way to McCowan.
And that ball does go inside. You see nothing but white jerseys attacking Stout and Coleman.
Ahalegba, tough shot. And a rebound to Bradley.
UNI has to find somebody with a little hot hand, a shooter that can score.
Foul called against Northern Iowa. Ahalegba whistled for the foul, and this is good news. It looks like Jostin is going to check back in now for the Panthers. Remember, he hit that three and then hit the deck and hurt his wrist, but he's back in there now. There's a look at the team fouls. Bradley with 5, Panthers with 2.
And Jostin is a player who can score from the outside.
And that's going to be an offensive foul on Ruffin. And Jim Les is hot. That's 3 on Ruffin, and they can ill afford to lose him.
See him coming inside, and Travis Brown trying to establish position, gets the call. If you can, what you would like to do is maybe post up Ruffin or challenge him off the dribble.
And now a whistle away from the basketball. That's going to go against Northern Iowa. The whistles have picked up here in the second half.
They definitely are working. 6 team fouls already on the Bradley Braves.
Our score 33-25 in favor of Bradley. Got off to a wonderful start in this ball game. A couple of times Northern Iowa's pulled it close, and they just hang in there.
Braves are really an efficient offensive team. 75 points a game, yet they don't even have 12 turnovers.
They have got 3 of the top 10 scores in this conference.
Where UNI has the top 2 rebounders.
Right. Oh, what a move! Jared Jostin, the junior.
Well, we said Jostin can score. He's got some quicks. And the Panthers need he or someone to start opening up the middle for Coleman and Stout.
Bradley answers with a 3, and it's J.J. Twy. He's got 10.
We've got a double technical foul, McCowan and Ruffin. And that will be another personal foul on Ruffin. That will be his 4th.
That's the end result of that collision or confrontation between the two.
And McCowan cannot believe he's going to get a T. And of course, Ruffin, he certainly is not interested in getting it.
Well, you're right, Mac. I mean, Ruffin has got 4, and for McCowan, it's just his first.
Just watching the paint area now, and you'll see McCowan and Ruffin just putting their arms and hands together and clearing away from each other a double T.
When you think about who gets the better of that situation, certainly Northern Iowa does, because Ruffin picks up number 4.
Yep.
McCowan only 1.
Without a defensive stand. And Jim Les cannot believe this call. Now watch again, underneath, and you'll see 23 try and block out with the right elbow. reaches across Ruffin's face, and Ruffin flicks his hand back up. Both players extending, trying to play a competitive game, and they both end up with tees.
36-27.
As you said, Matt, this is advantage. Panthers.
And tied up was Adams and Jared Jostin, and they're going to get Adams for the foul.
And there is no flow to this game. Where in the first half we had a good up and down. Strong defenses by both teams, running their offenses, contested shots, and now it's becoming a free throw contest.
Jostin with 7 points, 1 board this afternoon, 13:07 to play. And he's just about automatic, 85%. Speaking of just about automatic, he'll be on display later tonight. Blake Ahern of Missouri State. Free throw shooting percentage again leads the league at close to 95%. And it's not just like he's taken 20 throughout the year. He's taken over 100.
But he is coming back to hometown St. Louis, where he has not played well in this building.
Right.
And Missouri State needing a win to feel very secure about getting to the NCAA tournament, where they did not get to last year. But we got a game here now.
And a steal picked up by Jostin. 7-point Bradley Lee is Northern Iowa try to cut into it with this possession. Coleman's got it.
Coleman likes to go to the left hand.
And there's Twy trying to guard him. A little bit of a mismatch, but Bradley gets away with it. And a timeout taken by the Bradley Braves.
That's a good call by Jim Less. Without his leader, David Ruffin, in there, he wants to talk to his players and get them back into an offensive sequence they will feel comfortable with.
Okay, I've been working on this plan for 3 years, and today's the day.
Okay.
Every Friday, the same Bud Light delivery guy takes the same route past us.
Okay.
You're the only one who can make the leap.
Okay.
When I say go, you jump over, grab some Bud Light, and jump back.
Okay.
Okay, here he comes. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and go.
What'd you say?
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Seriously, what'd you say?
Casey's, it's all good. Casey's, it's all right.
It's piping hot, it's fresh, it's handmade from scratch Casey's Pizza. This month, get any 2 large one-topping pizzas for $17.99.
Made fresh for your order. Meat and cheese piled high for you. Casey's General Store. Casey's, it's all good.
It's a brand new season of Pinks.
You lose this race, you lose your ride.
Let's go!
It's the new Wednesday night lineup kicking off with Pinks Season 4. Unique whips. And Forza Motorsport Showdown. Old school power, new school twist. Pinks Season 4. This week, only on Speed.
It's the end of the Centennial Men's Basketball celebration for the Missouri Valley Conference as Arch Madness takes center stage all weekend on FSN Midwest. Nationally ranked Southern Illinois ended the season at the top of the Valley standings, but Creighton, Missouri State, and Bradley will fight to advance to the NCAA tournament. Find out which teams make it to the championship game when the best teams in the Valley hit the hardwood. It's Arch Madness with the Missouri Valley Conference Men's Quarterfinals. Today on FSN Midwest.
The FSN Final Score tonight.
Bradley up by 7 here in the second half of the quarterfinals of the State Farm Missouri Valley Conference. Time now for This Date in History, brought to you by the Sheraton St. Louis City Center Hotel. March 2nd, 1982, Bradley's Willie Scott established a tournament single game record for assists with 20 as the Braves defeated Indiana State 86-61. When traveling to St. Louis, visit Sheraton.com/St. Louis to make your reservation at the Sheraton City Center Hotel, the official St. Louis hotel of the Valley, and the Braves would like like to duplicate that this year, Dan McLaughlin?
J.J. Twice, a leading scorer in this game. He's got 10. Jostin with 9. Stout with 7 for Northern Iowa.
So it's been the complementary players stepping up, not wanting their season to end. And we said Try, just really a veteran that understands Jim Les and what he wants out of his offense, taking advantage of the open looks, does not force it. Crouch.
Shot clock is down to 5 against Coleman. Oh, what a shot over Coleman.
Wow. And Crouch, a 50% three-point shooter, has not made one today and has not even taken one today.
They are 6 of 9 from behind the arc. Conversely, Northern Iowa shot 13 threes. Coleman, as they converge on him, ball is loose, it's on the floor, and finally a whistle and a jump ball. It will stay with the Panthers, and Bradley leads it 38-29.
And Coleman continues to struggle. You see Crouch, the spin around move against Coleman, and it's good. 38-29.
National City, we want to make banking simple. When your banking is simplified, you have more time to do what you really want. So, what's not to like?
There's a new O'Reilly Auto Parts store. That means better parts, better people, and better prices are just around the corner. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices.
10 teams. 9 games. 4 days. And one big invitation to the dance. It's Hoops in the Heartland. Don't miss the 2007 State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Women's Basketball Tournament, March 8th through 11th at the Drake Knapp Center. Hoops in the Heartland. Get your tickets today.
Boy, a lot of people are excited about the women's tournament coming up. It's 38-29. We've got the men's tournament here in St. Louis. And we remind you, with over 5,000 hotels to choose from, there's bound to be a choice hotel wherever you're headed. So book your stay by calling 1-877-240-2929 or visit choicesportstravel.com and get your best internet rate guarantee. We'll see you there. Let's check in with Tom Ackerman.
Bradley has played in 31 postseason tournaments, more than anyone in Valley history. However, they haven't won this tournament since 1988. That's the last Braves team to have 20 wins in the regular season. Hersey Hawkins, a part of that outstanding team. This team's totally different, and Coach Jim Les doesn't think they'd put a full 40 minutes together all season. So it'd be interesting to see what would happen if they did.
You're right, Tom. Very athletic team, and really, as Mac pointed out, came together about midway through, and they're going to call a foul as Coleman is banging inside with Zach Andrews. As a matter of fact, Bradley has not played in consecutive NCAA tournaments since 1954-55. So you're talking a long time.
That was long before you were a gleam in anybody's eye.
Sure. For a lot of folks.
Yeah. Zach Andrews, it's amazing. Fouled out 9 times this year, averages over 4 fouls. What it does tell you, though, Danny Mac, is he's a pretty good player, because coaches aren't going to let you stay in the game to foul out 9 times. unless you're doing some other things pretty good.
We mentioned that the women's tournament is coming up here with the Missouri Valley Conference, and Coleman hits them both, and we talked about that, only a 60% free throw shooter. But with the women's tournament, they are going to move that to a neutral site. And that was pretty big news at the Valley a couple of weeks ago, just like we got right here in St. Louis.
And that certainly is much more a fair situation for all teams involved.
Absolutely. They've had lower seeds win it the last couple of years. And the rebound to Northern Iowa. With his 5th board today, that was Stout. Stout will try the 3. Yes, his second 3 of the afternoon.
That is 2 rattled threes. Hardly net on either one, but good results.
They're just hanging around, only down by 4. Stout now with 10 for Northern Iowa. Twy, you better get a hand up on him, but he's well short with the shot. And the rebound goes to Jostin. And the Panther fans on their feet here in St. Louis.
Bradley back to zone. Starting to feel maybe the man-to-man was not as intense. Trying to cover up the middle where it's difficult for Stout and Coleman to operate. And you see you and I having trouble recognizing what they want to get into.
9 on the shot clock, under 10 minutes to play. The fadeaway shot, no good. Loose and picked up by Franklin. Here's Warren, and a shuffle of the feet, a travel. Got a little ahead of himself. Doesn't play all that much. Andrew Warren, only a freshman from Indianapolis, and all of a sudden, Ruffin back in, but keep an eye on him as Northern Iowa is on a 7-2 run, but Ruffin has got 4 personal fouls.
He checks back in after just sitting out about 3.5 minutes. And in that time, the Braves just scored 2 points.
Inside, Stout got it. It's a 2-point lead for Bradley. Stout now with 12.
At the very top, Danny Mac, we said it's a 4-5 game. You expect it to be even. That's what we got with 9:20 to go.
A whistle, a foul.
Inside.
They're going to get Travis Brown, the sophomore from Richfield, Minnesota, with it. Twy right around Coleman. That's too easy. J.J. Twy. Boy, he went right around him. J.J. with 12 for Bradley. 40-36, 9 minutes to go. McCowan trying to answer. Hits the deck hard. And a foul against Bradley. Got his own rebound and hit the deck.
Well, Bradley getting a number of fouls.
The foul on Zach Andrews. McCowan, a guy that you rarely see off the floor. 79% free throw shooter. He averages over 35 minutes a game, and he's had a terrific career. Broke the old record as far as assists were concerned. Averages 6 a game, so he gets his teammates involved. He's first in steals on their team, and he averages 11 points a game.
Making that free throw. His last game at home, he was 0 for 6 from the field until the last 2 minutes of the game, and then made 6 straight free throws. That against Illinois State.
Crouch to Ruffin, playing with those 4 personal fouls. Hands it off to Franklin. Deep 3. Rebound to McCowan. Coleman is running. Coleman against Twy. Coleman goes right at him.
Oh, my goodness.
Aaron Coleman.
Oh, my goodness. Wake up, number 2.
Coleman with 6. The lead is at 1.
We'll see if Bradley can stay in their offense, feel confident about what they want to get done.
Twy does. Off the glass, hit the floor, no call, and he picks up his 14th point.
Boy, I love his game. He is a guy that has paid his dues, now responding with points in this game.
A 3 would tie it up. Coleman. The big man with a fadeaway tough shot. Ball is loose, kept alive by Northern Iowa, but stepping out of bounds, Brooks McCowan. Good effort. We step aside with 7:33 to play. The Panthers right back in this game. It's Arch Madness, and it's 42-39.
Where are you now, Daddy?
I'm in Tokyo this time.
Is Paris far away?
Pretty far away.
Buenos Aires.
Do you know where Spain is?
It's right under France.
That's right.
When are you coming home?
I'll be home real soon.
I love you, Daddy.
And where are we flying to today?
We're having a business meeting in London.
Life can take you almost anywhere, and so can we. We know why you fly. We're American Airlines.
What does reliability sound like? It beeps and whirs, screams and stirs, blips and rings, growls and sings, buzzes, clicks, bangs, and ticks. That's what reliability sounds like. Working hard to keep your power up and costs down. Ameren 365 and then some.
Hey, I'm Ethan Zahn, and yours truly will see you weekly on FC Fox. It's your ticket to everything going on in our soccer nation. Hang out with the man on the street. Fine-tune your game with soccer tips from the pros in our conditioning and training segments. Plus, real-life stories from stars of the game. Be sure to watch FC Fox this and every Friday exclusively on Fox Soccer Channel.
Of the Centennial Men's Basketball celebration for the Missouri Valley Conference as Arch Madness takes center stage all weekend on FSN Midwest. Nationally ranked Southern Illinois ended the season at the top of the Valley standings, but Creighton, Missouri State, and Bradley will fight to advance to the NCAA tournament. Find out which teams make it to the championship game when the best teams in the Valley hit the hardwood. It's Arch Madness with the Missouri Valley Conference Men's Quarterfinals today on FSN Midwest.
Game reset, a service of Emerson. To learn more, visit go to emerson.com. Emerson, consider it solved.
Look, right there is the key for the rest of this game. Team fouls. Northern Iowa just at 5, while the Bradley Braves are already giving up 10 fouls. That means everything is going to be a 2-shot foul for you and I. And so far, Bradley not even to the 1-and-1. Plenty of timeouts for everybody.
If you just joined us, Southern Illinois has advanced as they rolled over Drake. Win number 26 for Chris Lowry and the Salukis. Winner of this game gets Southern Illinois. And already we've had over 15,000 here for Arch Madness. This has been great. A couple of big games coming up later. The evening session.
Sally is not an offensive threat, particularly. He is going to be a screener. And David Ruffin is hampered a bit by 4 fouls. He's going to have to be careful if he drives.
5 on the shot clock. Ruffin gets a pick. Look away. Oh, almost finished the play. That would have been something.
Yeah. A tremendous no look. The eyes of Ruffin and Fly met. They knew what they wanted to finalize with, is unable to get the ball to spin off the glass.
6:40 to go, and it's thrown out of bounds. Coleman has had a rough afternoon. He's trying to pass it to McCowan. It's 42-39. Bradley, by the way, started this game on a 6-0 run. At one point, they led 18-4, and Northern Iowa has never left.
And you're right about Coleman. Sometimes in baseball, you like the high, hard one, but you want your teammate to be able to catch passes. He's thrown a couple out of the ballpark.
Body foul. And that's going to go against McCowan for 6:23 to go. That's number 2 on Brooks McCowan.
He's another player that can get in foul problems sometimes. Doing a good job of staying out of that arena today.
Franklin will inbound for the Bradley Braves.
Stout's in a position he can help on a driver.
Franklin. Sally, blocked. Gets it back, blocked again. Here's Crouch. Jim Leslie on it down. Pull it back, let's reset. Good catch by Sally, got it stripped. Knocked out of bounds, and it's going to stay though with the Braves.
And you are seeing why Coleman and Stout may be considered the best 1-2 big man punch in the Valley. They're number 1 and 2 in rebounds, and they both average double figure scoring. The only team in the country that has that combination.
Franklin steps into the shot. Coleman just rips the rebound down.
As we said, he can be a monster when under control on that glass. And he has been a player who has come to life in the second half.
Coleman. 10 on the shot clock. Good play on the two-man game. And drawing contact is Grant Stout. Good pass there by Jared Jostin.
Number 32, Grant Stout, is very good. And you will see he's here. Now watch the movement that he will go through inside. And they throw it back out. Now he'll come over and set a screen and dives right down there. Open, able to go ahead and get the opportunity inside.
Stout at the line, a 64% free throw shooter. 13 points on the afternoon, the only Panther in double figures. The lead is cut to 1 with 5:20 to go.
And you always talk about seniors and urgency, and Danny Stout's one of those. So is Rich McCowan for the Panthers.
Northern Iowa has never led in this ballgame. We've got 5 minutes to go, and we've also got a foul. The Bradley Braves, 44th in the RPI, and have the Valley's best strength of schedule at 27. Then you take a look at Northern Iowa. They've had key wins over Iowa State, Iowa, Southern Illinois. Key wins for the Braves, Southern Illinois, DePaul, Virginia Commonwealth.
They're right on the edge, both of these teams. Neither of them want to lose this first round game and feel very comfortable about postseason play.
Will Franklin, a 80% free throw shooter. He is at the line. Franklin today with just 8 points. First on their team in scoring coming into this postseason tournament. 5th in the league with better than 15 points a game. Hit them both.
I really like this game, and he's hit some big shots. With a game winner at Southern Illinois. Big free throw against Evansville. See the high post pick. Once again, Stout has the ability to step out and shoot a three.
McCowan steps in. Won't fall. Rebound to Bradley as Sally picked it up. Here's J.J. Twy against Coleman. Twy. Good ball movement to Crouch. Crouch on the baseline and got it. Crouch with 8.
Crouch, as we said, a great three-point shooter, showing me a lot. His ability to take it to the rim and surprising the Panthers. No rotation to cut him off.
Timeout, Northern Iowa.
Watch there, driving in. Able to show the ball in the corner. Now he shows the ball as he shows, able to get by the defender. That's a very, very good offensive move that you try and teach kids. Ball fakes, whether it's pass fake or shot fake, very effective in getting yourself open.
The State Farm MVC Women's Basketball Tournament at the Drake Knapp Center in Des Moines. March 8th through the 11th. For info on accommodations and everything that's happening in Des Moines during the tournament, contact the Greater Des Moines CVB at 1-800-451-2625 or visit cdesmoines.com. We're at the Scottrade Center in St. Louis. Mac McCausland alongside. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Tom Ackerman, our sideline reporter. Scott Mormon on the desk. Lots of foul trouble for Brown, Ruffin, and Andrews. Those three with 4. Coleman finds the open man, and now they'll set the offense. Ten on the shot clock. Jostin lets one fly. That's not the shot that they're looking for. And he passed up a couple of the better looks.
An impatient shot with no ball screen. He was just going against his defender, and a foul inside, maybe on Coleman.
It's on Coleman.
A groundbreaking 14-year study by Purina proves that dogs can live longer, healthier lives.
After all these years, you haven't lost a step, you old hound.
Dog Chow Nutrition, fed properly over a lifetime, can help add up to 2 healthy years to your dog's life.
Okay, last one home buys breakfast.
Long live your running partner. Long live your dog. Purina Dog Chow.
Mercy Health Plan. Our members think pretty highly of our healthcare plans and our customer service. We are proud of these achievements and honored to serve the people of the Midwest. Mercy Health Plans. A full line of plans for groups and individuals linked to a high-quality network of doctors and hospitals from one of the most trusted names in healthcare, Mercy Health Plans. The way we care makes all the difference.
Jackie Chan is here. Remember, I'm not letting you do any stunts, okay? Mr. Chan! You want to make a movie with my client, Diet Pepsi?
Your client will be perfect.
We would insist on a stunt double.
No problem.
Watch my back, okay?
Stunt double!
Look at you. You look great. Aren't you glad you didn't do the stunts?
The most.
Buick, Pontiacs, GMC's conversion vans.
The best.
Customer service before, during, and after the sale.
For less.
We buy more and sell more, so you'll save more.
Every day. If you want the biggest deal on a Buick, Pontiac, or GMC, you have to go to the biggest dealer. Bellman Buick Pontiac GMC, the area's #1 Pontiac and GMC dealer.
And newest Buick dealer.
I-270 and McDonald Boulevard. It's where everyone buys.
The winner of this one gets Southern Illinois tomorrow afternoon, 46-41. Bradley has never trailed in this game, and they lead at 46-41. Our State Farm players of the game, we start with number 32 of Northern Iowa. That's Grant Stout.
And he has got 14 points, 8 rebounds. That's right at his average. So he is Mr. Consistent and has really kept the Panthers in this game.
Couple of threes as well. And speaking of threes, and a guy that's been inside and outside today, J.J. Twice had a very good game for Bradley, and so is this young man.
Yep, J.J. Try me, and he's got 14 points as well. That's his high against the Valley opponent this year.
Sally missed the free throw, 46-41, 3.5 to play.
Well, you've got to be strong with the ball. This is now where you have to have a will and an understanding. Nice step under. Is that a veteran right there? Great post play.
16 for Stout. Cuts the lead to 3. As we approach 3 minutes to play. Franklin, little floater, no good. Body's banging. Rebound goes to Coleman and Northern Iowa. Coleman got it. Eric Coleman cuts the lead to 1. 8 for Coleman.
And both teams have 3 timeouts. I was just going to say, you got David Ruffin and Andrews sitting down. Coach Jim Les says, I can't wait for a dead ball. I got to get him back in the game now. Takes a TO.
Let's go back to the last bucket, Mr. Coleman.
Again, the high-low game. Once Grant Stout establishes himself as a shooter, you got to come out and guard him, leaving Coleman with the ability to use that left hand underneath. Coleman, just a junior, will be back in this valley one more year.
5th player in Northern Iowa history to have more than 1,000 points before his senior year.
And is not what you call a shooter in the sense of wanting to shoot a lot. Rarely takes double digits in terms of shots.
Earlier today, it was Southern Illinois over Drake, 71-59. We've got a good one here, and coming up later tonight, Indiana State still alive. They'll take on Creighton. That's at 6 o'clock. And then at 8:30, it's Missouri State and Wichita State. Wichita State, the number 6 seed, and at one point they were number 8 in the country. And Missouri State made history last year, and they would rather not hear about this, but they are the highest ever RPI team not to make it in to the NCAA tournament where they were at.
They're feeling good about themselves, but they certainly want to win.
Take nothing for granted anymore.
That's right, and that's the way they're approaching it. Mark Turgeon had the great run with a Sweet 16.
Fly was wide open and missed it. And with this possession, Northern Iowa can pick up their first lead of the afternoon. They missed something. Under 2.5 to go.
They'll just run their offense off that high post pick, and they'll see Stout
for the lead. Got it!
Oh!
19 for Stout. Their first lead today. 48-46. Franklin. No. Rebound. Northern Iowa. Travis Brown.
Even though David Ruffin has 4 fouls, he is guarding McCowan. He's going to have to pick it up defensively and offensively in the last minute and a half for his team.
A chance of UNI here in St. Louis. Ruffin is guarding McCowan. He's got to be careful playing with 4 fouls. Jostin. Either a travel or a foul. They're going to get a travel.
They're going to say it was a bump low, but Jostin bounced off of it without body balance. Called the travel. A lot of contact turning the corner. Like I said, it's a battle of wills. You have to be strong with the basketball and understand how to control it and be able to finish plays. As we know in the postseason, shooters shoot, players make plays, and you've got to be able to do it with a will and a strongness with the basketball.
Northern Iowa, 2-point lead, 48-46. At one point, trailed in this ballgame early on, 18-4. And it looked like the Bradley Braves were going to have a rout and have some fun. Now they look up, 1:23 to play, down by 2.
There's many ways to win a game or lose a game. How about last night? Drake has 101 points. You take the combination of these two, they're not even there yet. Terrific defense by the Braves and by UNI.
Game reset, Northern Iowa, timeouts 3, team fouls 8, Bradley. Only one timeout, 10 plus in that foul category, and that's been that way for quite some time.
Certainly for the Bradley Braves, the big shots this year have been taken by Will Franklin and by Jeremy Crouch, with Daniel Ruffin setting the table. So certainly look for Ruffin, even though with the 4 fouls, to drive, try and get to the rim or kick it to his shooters. And then see Franklin and Crouch be ready.
Grant Stout with 19 points. That leads all scorers. J.J. Twy with 14. Those two, the only 2 in double figures in this ballgame. We have just gotten it going, too. This is game 2 of 4 today. And, of course, we got the semifinals tomorrow. That's why they call it Arch Madness.
And sweaty palm time. Sometimes it gets a little difficult to swallow. You get a little dry in the throat. And there's Ruffin, as we said, the speed.
Bradley down by 2. Stout pops out. Here's J.J. Twy going right at Coleman. Leans in, got a block. Gets it back. We're tied at 48.
My goodness.
J.J. Twy was 16. 1 minute to play. Timeout, Northern Iowa. They want to make sure that they get a good look and a good set.
How about J.J. Twy? Doesn't want his season to end. As again, he adds to his point total. Driving it at Coleman, who is more of a post defender, not a perimeter defender. So number 10 gets the opportunity to take it in, the bat away, and J.J. stays with it to finish. They're coming down to one possession for each team, unless UNI tries to go here in the first 10 seconds of this possession. They possibly could get a 2-for-1. You are now playing the great chess match with first-year coach Ben Jacobson, who may be right now saying, I wish I had the player Ben Jacobson, who is a tremendous Valley performer and noted to be one of the 50 best ever in the MVC.
Let's head over to Tom Ackerman.
Dan, one difference between these two teams is experience. Because of that, Northern Iowa coach Ben Jacobson seemed confident coming into today with Grant Stout, Brooks McCowan, Eric Coleman. He knows he has players that realize what it takes to win 3 games. And Jacobson acknowledges that's the situation the Panthers have put themselves in order to make the NCAA tournament. Jacobson says his team didn't appear desperate in practice this week. They were excited about trying to win this game and then seeing if they can make a run to the tournament title. That's experience for you.
Yeah, at one point they were 14-4. They've won 2 in a row coming into Arch Madness. And this is a team that has tournament experience back. Teams that have made deep runs here in the Valley Tournament. Teams that have gone on to the NCAA tournament. So they've seen this kind of pressure here, Matt.
And you've got man-to-man defense by Bradley. They don't want to give any open looks.
Coleman wants it. They get it to him. The fans wanted to see the 3 chucked up there by Jostin. Instead, we got 8 on the shot clock. Here's McCowan for 3. Whoa. Missed everything. Knocked out of bounds. It will be Bradley basketball. And Bradley will have it. And Jim Les tackles one of his players from checking in. That was Zach Andrews, and now he's going to make sure and get the right player that he wants in. That's Danny Adams.
Sally comes out. Right now there are 4 players on the court for Bradley. Everybody except Twy has made 63s this season.
So the game clock is the only clock to worry about now. Shot clock is through. We're tied at 48. It's number 4 and number 5. The winner gets Southern Illinois. And here's Franklin, their leading scorer from the regular season at better than 15 a game. With his left, lost it, shot is up, got it! Franklin hits a 3! 1.7 seconds remaining.
He has made big shots all season against Southern Illinois. The game winner to the free throw line against Evansville. It was Will Franklin. Watch the ball spin loose. Opportunity to pick it up. Franklin just throws it over. Oh my goodness.
So Franklin with 12. None bigger than those 3.
If you ask Jim Les, who is your best competitor? He goes, this guy will take a shot. He will make a shot for us anytime we need it. He is our best competitor.
They're going to reset the clock. They're going to reset the clock, we hear.
2.7.
So put another second on. 2.7. And now Jim Les wants a clarification, and his coaching staff see exactly how much time is left.
And at 2.7, you could go ahead and get the ball down to midcourt and then take a drive. Right now, Bradley does have 10 fouls. So if they foul, it is a 2-shot opportunity. So you may want to go ahead, Dan. I mean, this you and I talked about it before. You still could go ahead and foul. You and I put them at the line. It is the great debate of college basketball today. And say, okay, you got to force you and I to make one, miss one, and then get a rebound and make a shot. That's a lot of things to happen. At 2.7, as I said, you can get the ball to midcourt and even drive it to the top of the key without any problem and get a good three-point shot off. You cannot pass it more than one time, I believe, before something's going to have to happen for the Panthers.
So McCowan will inbound. They do not guard the inbound. They're going to let him
Is this a
throw away.
Valparaiso play? And Jim Les is going to take
a lot of times you'll see, just for the effect to contest the throw, make it a little bit harder to guard that. But at least initially, Jim Les is not doing that. And he saw the setup that Northern Iowa had, so he might look to defend this a little differently.
And if you don't have somebody on the ball, like I said, you may see the old Valparaiso play where you throw it to the center of the court to a big who then just tips it to the two wings, whichever one would be open for the opportunity for the three.
That was Bryce Drew.
Yep. One of the great moments in March Madness. A highly shining moment. But I would not be surprised maybe now that Bradley changes and they come out to bother Brooks McCowan. But timeouts, the Braves have none, and the Panthers have one. Still, all five defenders go back to midcourt.
Adam Veed, who is a good outside shooter, has checked in for the first time today for the Panthers of Northern Iowa. Inbound is deflected. That's going to do it. Bradley survives. They face Southern Illinois tomorrow.
We expected the 4-5 game to be a terrific battle. Everybody got their money's worth. A difficult ending for the UNI Panthers, and Jim Les wants to relive that Sweet 16 of last year.
The Braves are now 21-11 thanks to this shot. Our Rawlings play of the game. Rawlings, the official athletic equipment of the MVC.
He willed that in, Mr. Franklin, for the game winner.
51-48, our final here at Game 2 of Quarterfinal Friday here in St. Louis. The hero today, Will Franklin for Bradley. And Franklin, the three to win it. He has 12 points. J.J. Twine, the leading scorer for Bradley, with 16. Leading scorer in this game, Grant Stout.
And Missouri Valley basketball is everything it has been all season long, continuing in this quarterfinal game. Two more tonight.
The Panthers have to play the waiting game as Jim Les hugs his star player Franklin as they head off the court. Game 3 just around the corner.
This group, come on!
It's not easy going it alone. That's why we're making it easier than ever to get a State Farm agent for car insurance. Call an agent's office 24/7. Stop by or go to statefarm.com to get an agent who's there for you. Online, on the phone, or in the office. Like a good